This podcast contains general information only and doesn't take into account your personal financial situation or goals. Welcome to Fit for Business with Sonja Pfitz. Are you thinking about using a commercial broker to help take your business to the next level? Well, this podcast is for you. Enjoy episode 6, why you should consider using a commercial finance broker.
Welcome back everyone to episode 6 on why you should use a commercial finance broker. So in the previous episodes we've talked in depth around the types of finances that are available, why you should consider looking at finance for your business, potentially even restructuring some of your existing relationships with your lenders and even the products that you're using. But how do you actually go about that without putting too much stress on yourself? How do you actually find the person to help you? So it's highly recommended that you use a qualified, experienced commercial broker, not a mortgage broker, to support you in your business. But what do you look for in a commercial finance broker? Firstly, when choosing a finance broker, consider factors such as their qualifications, experience, communication skills, and ability to understand your business's unique financial situation and alignment with your financial goals. Mortgage brokers are not qualified in the commercial business finance space. That's very important. Conduct thorough research, seek recommendations, and have conversations with potential brokers to determine who is the best fit for your needs and individual personality. A competent broker understands that lending should not be a set and forget topic, but it is reviewed regularly with their clients to ensure the right financial solutions are implemented and maintained year on, year out. As I say, relationship.
Sonja, so we're discussing why we need to use a commercial finance broker, and you've done a great introduction there for our listeners, but there's some dot points now that we should go through just to sort of make the point a bit further.
Yeah, so certainly. So at the beginning of our series, we talked about that there's no crystal ball and the lending landscape regularly changes. So we need to keep abreast of that. How do you do that? Obviously, watching the news, reading the newspapers, but more importantly, engaging an experienced commercial finance broker will help you keep pace with the lenders that are available, the options that they have available for you, and which ones that you could potentially engage in your business.
So you're using an expert to really keep an eye on that changing landscape. No crystal ball because things are moving all the time, and you're running a business, you're busy, so you're using an expert to ensure they're sort of up to date.
That's correct. So having an experienced commercial finance broker to be part of your advisory team is really important. They'll also take the stress out of the lending process for you by doing it. As business owners, you're experienced in doing what you do. As commercial finance brokers, that's what we're experienced in.
And you mentioned earlier about that relationship. So if you've done your job as far as finding the right commercial broker, they join your team, as you say, and they're part of the whole process.
Correct, yeah. So you have your accountant, you've got your solicitor. Engage and invest in having a commercial finance broker as part of that team to help guide you through not only what in the next 6 to 12 months, but long term from there.
Now, this next point you've got sort of connects to this in the way where there's differences with the lenders and there's different offerings there, so you need an expert who understands that as well?
That's right. So with a commercial finance broker, they will understand your business in detail, they'll understand your specific needs and requirements, and then from there they'll explain to you that there are significant differences between lenders, from mainstream to specialist lenders, what we call low doc lenders and private lenders. And this encapsulates not only the differences in pricing, products, terms and conditions, the security that they may or may not want for the lending facility that you're looking at, but also the service. We talked about that earlier on, that with branches closing down, what level of service are you looking for? And your broker will be able to help you with that.
And this again is, this is why you're using a commercial finance broker and not a mortgage broker, because this is your area of expertise.
Correct. So there are very different areas of lending. There is mortgage broking, which is really for consumers wanting to buy a house or investment properties, those sort of things. And commercial finance brokers specialise purely in commercial business lending.
Yeah. It just makes sense, doesn't it, to get a specialist in that space when you're running a business.
Correct.
Sonja, this next point, explain for us, please. Right lender, right fit.
Correct. So just like when you're engaging with your accountant and your lawyer, you have a right fit. They're the right fit for you, both in terms of their expertise and personality. A lender is no different. So when you're engaging with a lender, they need to fit your personal requirements, your personality, your expectations, and they need to be providing you with the right solution for the situation that you have in hand. If it isn't the right fit, it is going to be a disaster from the beginning, and we don't want that in your business. Running a business is hard enough as it is. You don't want any added stress by having the wrong lender in your business.
It's like finding any people for your business. You don't want to make that wrong choice, because then that causes you, a lot of trouble that you could have avoided.
Correct, absolutely.
Understand your credit scores. Now, we've spoken about credit scores, so this is something you need to get your head around with this as well.
Correct. So when we're talking, when we've been talking previously about planning, one of the first steps is to really understand your personal credit score and your business's credit score. That will very quickly tell you where you're actually going to fit in the lending landscape. So if you've got a really, really low credit score, you are not going to be placed with a tier 1 bank. You're going to be look at more specialised lenders or low doc lenders, and possibly even a fintech. And it doesn't matter whether your personal score is medium level and your business score is a lower level. It is matching the two together to get the right fit.
Did you know many businesses fail due to inadequate funding, poor credit controls, or inexperience? That's why you need this podcast, Fit for Business with Sonja Pfitz.
Now, remind me, your commercial finance broker can help you access that credit score. Is it something that you should do on your own, or you can work with somebody with that?
Yeah, so either you can actually obtain your own personal credit score free online. You can just Google it, and there's a number of different providers that will provide you with that. But your commercial finance broker will be able to provide you with your credit scores for both your business and yourself and have that conversation. It's important too for business owners to regularly check on that, because there are things that can impact your score that you may not be aware of. Also, if you're looking at different lenders yourself and you're constantly applying for loans all of the time without engaging with a commercial broker, you will impact your credit score. So be wary of doing that. Engage with someone who can help you through it.
So you can get in there and sort of amend your credit score, make it better, maybe paying off tax debt or something, just to sort of assist in getting that number better?
You can improve it.
Right.
So there's things that you can't remove from your credit score. Say, for instance, if you haven't been paying your telecommunication bills or your utility bills, you may have had a default or a judgment in the past. You can't remove those if they are legally placed there. But you can improve it over time. With time improves any score. You just need to make sure that you pay your bills on time. And by doing that, you really need to engage with your accountant to make sure that your bills are paid on time, but also your commercial finance broker as well can support you.
This is a great one. Working with your commercial broker to understand your borrowing capacity, because then you know what paddock you're playing in, or you know where you stand with all that.
Yeah, correct. So just like we were talking before, first step, we have a conversation with our clients to understand what they want to achieve and what their needs and requirements are. Secondly, we then look at their financials, we do the credit scoring, and then finally we start crunching the numbers. And when we're crunching the numbers, we're doing the serviceability calculations that we talked about before to see how much money the client can actually borrow. In their mind, they have a figure. They might be wanting to buy that truck, that trailer, that new bit of plastic injection machine. They may want to have a whole new fleet of cars. They might be in the security industry, for instance. But until they can understand how much they can borrow and all those other elements we just talked about, the broker won't be able to then fine-tune it down to say, okay, Pat, these are the lenders that are going to meet your requirements. You're able to borrow X, and this is the process from here.
It's exciting when you get there, because you're getting a bit closer. You're understanding your financials, and you're sort of starting to see a road towards growing your business.
Correct, and you know that when that borrowing capacity calculation or serviceability calculation we talk about is done, it flows into your cash flow modelling. So we tie that in very closely. You'll be assured that you are able to service it. It's not going to put you into financial distress so long as there's nothing that kind of comes from left field into the business, like COVID, for instance. But it will give you comfort. Yeah, it does get you excited that you can actually get on your way.
Now, at that point, does that connect with this one, ensuring that you're up to date with your financials as well? Yeah.
Absolutely. So that is absolutely paramount, not only for you to understand how your business is travelling, but in terms of borrowing funds, you need to have your financials up to date. That's both previous financial years and also your current management accounts. But most importantly too, please make sure that your ATO position is up to date. If it's not, you need to talk to your accountant on ways to address that ATO position, because again, it will narrow the options you have available in terms of which lender will support you and which ones won't.
And that's that head in the sand thing. If it's in the background, the relief once you sort out your position with the ATO, it's just better for everybody.
It is. It puts undue stress. I see it time and time again. And unfortunately, since COVID, as we talked about, a lot of business owners were using the ATO as the sixth banking pillar or fifth banking pillar, and they've got themselves into a right royal pickle. So now we need to work on that and get them through it so that the business can survive and thrive further from there.
Now, this is where you're fantastic at too, Sonja. Becoming a part of the business, part of the advisory team, and investing in a commercial, a broker who really becomes another, arm of your business.
Correct. As I've said early on, I love SMEs. I love what this country can do in terms of manufacturing, building things, the sciences that we're involved in, even defence, some of the technology we've got there. But they all need support, and the support comes from having, as I said, a good accountant and a good solicitor, but having a good commercial finance broker on your business is paramount. We help the group as a whole navigate your lending requirements, both right now and what's in the future, help take that stress away from your business. But a good commercial finance broker will deep dive into your business. They will make themselves feel part of the business, and where as directors of a business or even the executive team, they know they can pick up that phone, call you and say, Sonja, I need some help, or we've got a problem, or we need to make some changes, and you're there for them all the time.
Our listeners, if you haven't heard episode 2, that's an example of that. You spoke to Stella, someone you've worked with a business which has grown over, over a period of time in a big way. What a wonderful lady she was with her husband, and you became part of that business, and she was just great success, and really talks about it in episode 2.
Yeah, she does. And she has seen the value of having a commercial finance broker in the business and how much stress that's taken away from her, but also showed her the options that are available to her in that specific moment in time. As we said, the lending landscape is changing, so I've kept her abreast of the changes that are happening, again, to allow her to plan and being part of that strategic team to plan for the business's growth.
Episode 6, this is the final episode in the series, Fit for Business with Sonja Pfitz. We invite you to sort of go back and catch up with any episodes you haven't listened to as yet, or re-listen to episodes. So we've kept most sort of bite-sized pieces in a way, 10 to 12, 15 minutes, so our listeners can sort of just consume that bit of information and, start thinking about their business.
Absolutely. So it's given you a bit of a taster on areas to look at, to consider, and then the next step really is just to pick up the phone and have a conversation.
Yep. Thank you for listening to our podcast series, Fit for Business with Sonja Pfitz. Thank you, Sonja. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Pat.
Wonderful.
Sonja Pfitz has been a commercial finance strategist for SMEs, working in the finance industry for over 27 years. This podcast series is designed to inform you about the lending landscape for your business and to help you implement the right financial solutions to achieve your strategic objectives. Thanks for listening, and look forward to having you join us in the next episode of Fit for Business with Sonja Pfitz.